Piera Rodríguez takes on Ketlen Souza this Saturday on the prelims of UFC Fight Night. And this is a good fight, you know, evenly matched fight. Both of these ladies, a lot of power on the feet, like to scrap, like to throw hands. So I think this is going to be a back and forth fight and very exciting. So Piera Rodríguez, she's 32, 5'3", with a 63.5-inch reach and 10-2 in her career. Only loss was to Rinya Nakamura, where she had intentional headbutts in a fight that she was winning, and before that lost by armbar to Jillian Robertson. So no shame in those losses. You know, Jillian Robertson very high level and was winning the fight against Cornolle, who you know, give her an Oscar for that performance. But you know, she's aggressive, has power on the feet, just kind of mean, looking to damage her opponents, not really pick them apart or win fights by points. Mixes up her targets well, goes to the body, goes to the head well, throws really good combinations all levels, good movement, good footwork, hard to hit, and feints well to set up her strikes and her takedowns. She dropped Josephine Knudsen early in that fight and then was just taking her down and kind of dominate her the entire fight. Knudsen more of a striker, so I don't know how much stock we put in that type of performance. Not really known for wrestling or defensive wrestling. The Rinya Nakamura fight, she you know, was doing well in the first round with the strikes, and then started to get her takedowns. Round 2, dropped her with like a front kick to the face, and then was landing some ground and pound, and then headbutted her. It looked pretty intentional, but it didn't look like it really damaged her as much as, you know, the several strikes that hit her before that, and then she kind of just said she couldn't continue. But the fight before that, Jillian Robertson, you know, was having success on the feet, got a takedown. Jillian Robertson reversed, got on top, and then second round she got a takedown and got the armbar from Mount, I think it was, and she didn't tap. It looked like more she was putting her hand on the leg to try and push the leg off. I could see why you'd think it was a tap, but she was pretty vehemently denying the fact that she tapped in that fight. So either way, beat Sam Hughes before that, so that's a good win. So has a lot of success when she's working her takedowns in on her opponents. Again, you know, her last few opponents, Josephine Knudsen, Rinya Nakamura, getting takedowns on them. I don't know how much stock I put in that, and even the takedowns that she was getting on Sam Hughes, she really wasn't able to control her and do much with them. Sam Hughes was able to kind of bounce back up a lot of the time. So Ketlen Souza is susceptible to takedowns. She can be taken down, but very similar on the feet, aggressive, throws super hard, looking to damage her opponents, just puts tons of pressure on you, mixes up the targets well, has spinning kicks. She's tough, you know, got a really good chin. But she was taken down by Marnik Man a couple times. Got taken down and controlled. The next time she got taken down, was able to get up. Same kind of thing with Angela Hill, was getting taken down, but was doing a good job of scrambling back up to her feet. And she has a lot of finishing potential on the feet. You know, carries a lot of power in her hands. Dropped Yasmin Uruguay in their fight in the first round. Ended up getting the rear naked choke over her. Not a great look against Marnik Man, just not being able to put her away. I feel like she was kind of a sitting duck there along the cage for 3 rounds, looking to be chinned, and she couldn't really do it. And then also not a good look against Danny Silva, just tapped immediately to an ankle lock. Maybe it was more of maybe some pressure on her knee, but got taken down really easily, and then tapped immediately once the leg lock got applied. But I'm gonna go, you know, I think I'm gonna go with Ketlen Souza in this one. You know, Piera Rodríguez has had a lot of really good performances working in her takedowns on some lower level competition, I would say. You know, Sam Hughes, I think, is pretty good. Josephine Knudsen, you know, good striker. But in terms of overall MMA skill set, Josephine Knudsen couldn't really hang with the takedowns, didn't have much in terms of takedown defense. Rinya Nakamura, I don't think she's the greatest. Was able to get taken down and really control her and do damage. Jillian Robertson, she was able to out-grapple her, so it seems like she can out-grapple and wrestle some of these ladies, but as soon as she faces somebody with a little bit of actual skill on the ground, and Jillian Robertson, she looks like a fish out of water. I don't know if she's going to be able to get the takedowns as well as she wants against somebody like Ketlen Souza, who, even though she has been taken down, she still has 64% takedown defense. She does scramble fairly well. She does get underhooks at times to defend takedowns and you know, and land knees and kind of punish you to the midsection for coming in. And I just think Souza, I think she's going to have a lot more success on the feet. You know, she's got really powerful, I think she's got more powerful punches than Piera Rodríguez. I think she's fought the better competition, coming off of a split decision over Angela Hill, which is a very good back and forth fight. You could argue that maybe she won it. Was a huge underdog against Yasmin Uruguay, got the win, dominated Marnik Man. Danny Silva, you know, how does that fight play out if she doesn't get knee barred 90 seconds into it? And before that was on a pretty good streak, only losing by TKO on the regional scene, body kick, leg kicks, which isn't a great look. But in terms of getting hit in the face, you know, she's fairly tough. So Piera, she just looks like she's fighting on the back foot, and she's comfortable fighting on the back foot in a few of her fights. And I think if you let Souza walk forward and get her offensive pressure going on you, and let her dictate the pace and kind of how the fight is progressing, I think she's going to be getting off a lot of offense on her. I think it's really going to kind of stifle Piera Rodríguez's ability to shoot takedowns as well. So I'm going to go with Souza. You know, I think that maybe she gets taken down, but is able to get back up to her feet. The other thing is, you know, Piera Rodríguez, she's not a huge submission threat once she gets you to the ground. She's looking to control. She's looking to do damage. And that's been kind of the Achilles heel for Ketlen Souza when she gets taken to the ground, getting knee barred pretty easily by Danny Silva. But other than that, if you're not the best person to like positionally control her on the ground or land damage, she's usually able to kind of stay responsible and scramble back up to her feet. So I'm gonna go with Ketlen Souza. I trust her toughness on the feet to kind of be dictating where the fight's taking place, landing the bigger punches, defending takedowns. And I could see her hurting Piera Rodríguez in this one and getting her out of there. You know, Piera Rodríguez doesn't have tons of experience. She's fought some okay opponents on the regional scene, but only had, how many fights she had? 5 fights in the UFC. Anytime that she fought somebody who was, you know, decent caliber, Jillian Robertson, she lost. So I'm going to go with Ketlen Souza. You know, I think she's got the power advantage. I think she's more athletic. I think she's meaner, younger. They're going to be about the same size, 5'3", and 5'3", both 63.5 inch reach. So I'm going to go with Ketlen Souza as the underdog in this one. I think that she can do enough to win rounds and get the decision. Thanks.